Hi, it's Andrew, and as I promised when we met at the webinars last week, that we would pop up every Wednesday with some well-being tips and help you build those habits that we talked about. So just to remind everyone, the importance of the 12 rocks of well-being. If you need a link to the poster, you'll find it in the description. And this week, I'd really like you to think about a couple of rocks that you want to work on. I would highly recommend that you focus particularly on sleep. One of the most important ways and successful ways to get more sleep is to make sure that we go to bed at the time that we're maximally sleepy in the evening. So that maximum sleepiness is brought about by sleep pressure, which is a chemical called adenosine building up in the brain, but also by our circadian rhythm. So we've all got a chronotype. Some of us fall asleep early, we're larks. Some of us fall asleep late, we're owls. Most teenagers, 16 to 18-year-olds, are owls because the circadian rhythm system moves sleepiness back in the night when we hit late adolescence. So you'll probably find you're naturally not sleepy until at least 10:30, maybe through to 12:30. But you need to make sure you're in bed at that point when you're nodding off in front of Netflix. If you get in bed at that point, you'll drop off to sleep quite quickly. And then you need to build a sleep stride. That is the starting pistol, that fatigue, falling asleep, and then wake up 7 or 8 hours later. That's the kind of sleep cycle. You might find that you surface a little bit. You might find you have some difficulties, maybe dropping off initially. But if you keep going with the sleep stride, drop off at the point of maximum sleepiness, it takes 5 or 6 weeks to fall in to a habit in relation to sleep. That's one of the most important ways of getting more sleep. There are other things that you can try, and I'll post also in the description a sleep help sheet that you can access. Work on your sleep. It is fundamental, not only for your sense of well-being, engagement with life, attention, but crucially for your memory. And the other rock that you should really give some real thought to is managing emotions, particularly negative emotions. And we talked in the webinar about making sure that you're practicing emotional hygiene. There's another link in the description about how to practice those 3 questions we talked about. What went well today? What didn't? What emotions were involved? Just exploring our emotional experience, surfing our emotional ocean helps us to just help our brain to process any particularly tricky experiences. If we just leave our brain to kind of idle, as we've talked about, it can head off in a negative direction. So focus on your rocks, choose a couple. Sleep and emotion are good ones because they're good daily practices. You can build an exercise habit. We'll be back next week with another health tip, but focus on sleep and emotion and try and fit your rocks in every day. We're always keen to hear from you, so do let us know. Some of you have already done, sent us emails just telling us how you do your rocks, and with your permission, we'll check obviously first. We will publish that to students across Basvik because everyone's different. Everyone has got different kind of experiences and interests, and it's always fascinating to hear how people manage to get their rocks in. So that is Wednesday's Wellbeing Tip 1 on that journey to being more Basvik and being a Neuro Ninja. Thanks so much for listening. See you next week.